Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Isabel Wilkerson, the author of a phenomenal new work on the Great Migration, writes that the Great Migration is perhaps the biggest underrepresented story of the 20th century. Over the course of 6 decades, 6 million Black Southerners left the South in search of new lives. An estimated 500,000 left in the short 5-year span between 1916 and 1921. Over time, this mass relocation would dwarf the California gold rush of the 1850s with its 100,000 participants. And it would far outnumber the Dust Bowl migration of some 300,000 people who left Oklahoma and Arkansas and traveled to California in the 1930s. Nearly every Black family in America weighed the decision of whether to stay or to go. It was a topic that was discussed everywhere, in people's homes, in churches, on street corners. By the time the migration was over in the 1970s, few Americans had not been touched by it. The children and grandchildren of those who decided to leave the South were raised in a world that their ancestors could not have imagined. This was a mass movement, and it was a leaderless movement. In fact, ministers who urged their flocks not to leave the South would soon find themselves trailing behind their congregants who had already taken the lead and headed north. In some cases, entire churches were reconstituted in northern cities.